Hello everyone, welcome to video lecture series of Communication Engineering. Today's topic is amplitude shift keying, that is ASK. ASK is one of the digital modulation technique. So in this video I'll be talking about what do you understand by ASK, ASK modulator, ASK demodulator, advantages, disadvantages and applications of amplitude shift keying. Let us begin. First, let's revise what is digital modulation technique. Why digital modulation techniques are used. So digital modulation, that is denoted by DM, it uses discrete signals for modulating a carrier. So here nature of carrier, that is analog, but message signal is discrete in nature. Right? And digital modulation, it removes communication noise as well as it provides the strong signal strength. Signal strength becomes strong by using digital modulation techniques. And there are various advantages of digital modulation over analog modulation. In detail I have discussed in the previous video. But just to let you know, digital modulation provides more information capacity. It gives more capacity of data, high information security and accessibility at a faster system. So there are various advantages of digital modulation techniques. That is why digital modulation techniques have a greater demand. It has a huge demand because of the capacity and communicating superior amount of information if we compare with the analog modulation technique. So these are the various advantages. That is why they are preferred and they are in the bulk demand nowadays. There are many types of digital modulation techniques and there are some combinations can also be used depending upon the applications, but basically it can be categorized into three categories. One is ASK, then FSK, then PSK. ASK or amplitude shift keying, FSK or frequency shift keying, PSK or phase shift keying. So these are the three prominent techniques, but in some of the cases combinations and some modifications can be done. So in this video I'll be talking about the ASK, which is the amplitude shift keying. What is amplitude shift keying? See, amplitude shift keying, that is ASK, it is a type of amplitude modulation where amplitude of resultant output, it depends upon the input data. Input data may be 0 or 1. So depending upon the carrier frequency, you'll be getting the output. So amplitude of resultant output, whatever we will be getting at the output, it depends upon the input data. Input data may be low or high and depending upon the carrier frequency. So in this case, when you are observing that in some of the positions, when 1 means data is present, 0 means data is not present, it means data is an on-off signal. So at the output will be an on-off signal, means sometimes there will be a presence of signal, sometimes there will be absence. It means when there is a carrier, data will be 1, and when the carrier is not present, data is 0. This is also known as a on-off keying. ASK or amplitude shift keying technique, it is also known as a on-off keying, OOK. Why? Now you can explain it. Means in some situations there is a presence of data, in some situations there is an absence of data, and this is the waveform via which you can represent how the ASK modulated output wave will be obtained. Here you can see this is the input binary sequence. Carrier signal will be the continuous signal, right? That will be the analog signal. So here you can observe this is at the logic low, this is at the logic high, means 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So you can observe wherever data is 1 means the carrier is present. Carrier is present here, carrier is present here. So this is how you can represent the ASK modulated output wave. You can draw it. And you must remember that this is also known as a on-off keying, and the applications of amplitude shift keying is mainly in IR remote control, optical fiber transmitters and receivers. So these are the various applications. Now let us talk about the ASK modulator. what is the process of generation of amplitude shift keying signal? How ASK signal is being generated? So first you have to draw the block diagram. If you observe this particular block diagram, you will get to know that it consists of a carrier signal generator on the very left hand side. There is a binary sequence from the message signal, and there is a use of band limited filter. This is the band limited filter, and at the output you will be getting the binary ASK signal, right? So here you can observe in this particular diagram, and you will get to know the function of the carrier generator. It sends a continuous high frequency carrier. So there is a presence of continuous high frequency carrier, whatever the kind of, and the binary sequence from the message signal. This is the binary sequence. It may be some combination of 101. This is just for an example I have written 1101. So binary sequence from the message signal, it makes the unipolar input, right? Unipolar input it may be low or high. So input may be low or high depending upon the value 1 or 0, right? It means the high signal closes the switch. So when the signal is high, the switch will be closed, this particular switch. So when signal is high, switch will be closed and it will allow a carrier wave. Means when this particular switch is closed, then it will allow a carrier wave. It means at the output carrier signal will be available, means the output will be high. And what will happen in the another case? When there is low input, means the switch will be open, and when the switch is open, means there is no voltage which is going to appear at the output. So output voltage will be low in this particular case, right? So this is how you can explain it. And the use of this band limited filter, it shapes the pulse depending upon the amplitude and phase characteristics, right? So pulse is being shaped depending upon amplitude and phase characteristics of the band limiting filter, or you can say a pulse limiting filter. So this is how you can explain the ASK modulator, right? You can also draw the waveforms. Here you can observe the binary input sequence is being shown, the carrier signal is also being shown. Now you can observe wherever the binary input is at high level, carrier is present, otherwise carrier is absent. So in this particular manner you can explain the ASK modulator, or you can explain how generation of amplitude shift keying signal is being done. The function of each element of the ASK modulator I have listed out over here. Now let us talk about the ASK demodulator. Demodulator or detection. So depending upon the requirement, the ASK demodulation techniques are of two types. Basically two types. First is the asynchronous ASK demodulation or asynchronous ASK detection. Demodulation and detection, these are the similar functions. They are capable to perform the same function. And asynchronous ASK demodulation, this is also known as a non-coherent detection. And synchronous ASK demodulation or detection, that is the coherent detection. What is the difference, or how can you define the coherent and non-coherent? See, there is a requirement of the clock frequency, means the clock frequency at the transmitter when it matches with the clock frequency at the receiver, means when the transmitter and receiver clocks are matched, means they are in synchronism, then the type of method is known as a synchronous method or coherent. And when there is no match, that is the asynchronous. So this is how you can explain what is the synchronous or coherent, what is the asynchronous or non-coherent detection. Now we will be talking about asynchronous ASK demodulator and synchronous ASK demodulator, both. First is the asynchronous ASK demodulator. Asynchronous ASK demodulator means when the clock frequency of transmitter is not matched with the receiver, the type of detection is asynchronous. Here in this particular diagram, you can observe that a asynchronous ASK detector, it consists of a rectifier, and this rectifier is a half wave rectifier, low pass filter and comparator. This is a block diagram. So here the modulated input is what? Input is the modulated ASK signal. So when input is modulated ASK signal, like if you say MT represents the message and cos omega CT is the sinusoidal carrier, then this particular signal will be what? Modulated signal, MT into cos omega CT. So this is the input, and from this particular input you have to extract the original message, which is the MT. Right? So the modulated ASK signal that is applied to the rectifier. Rectifier is a half wave rectifier. So at the output of this rectifier, we will be getting a positive half, as you can observe over here. And then it is applied to the low pass filter. Low pass filter suppresses the higher frequencies and it gives an envelope detected output. Here at the output of low pass filter, you will be getting envelope detected output. Actually, this particular combination, rectifier and low pass filter, this section, this is actually the envelope detector. So at the output of low pass filter, we will be getting the envelope detector output, and then it is compared in the comparator, and at the output of the comparator we will be getting a digital output. And the function of the comparator is what? To compare the incoming signal with the threshold one, and resultant we will be getting either 1 or 0, and accordingly the message signal will be appeared. So that is how you can explain it. And here you must remember that it does not require phase coherent local oscillator. Here you have not seen. It means this is not a coherent demodulation or coherent detection. So in this manner you can explain it. Next is the synchronous ASK demodulator. Synchronous ASK demodulator means where there is a requirement of a synchronism in between transmitter and receiver clock. Then it is known as a synchronous or coherent. This is the block diagram of synchronous ASK demodulator or detector. Here you can observe that it consists of a square law detector, low pass filter, comparator and voltage limiter. So ASK modulated input signal. Here the input is ASK modulated signal, which is MT cos omega CT, and from this message signal, which is MT, that is to be extracted. So ASK modulated input is given to the square law detector, and the square law detector is a device whose output voltage is proportional to the square of amplitude modulated input voltage. You must remember it. Output voltage is proportional to the square of the amplitude modulated input voltage. Then it is passed through the low pass filter, which minimizes the higher frequencies and pass the lower frequencies. Then it is applied to the comparator. Comparator and the voltage limiter, it helps. The function of these two, comparator and voltage limiter, is for the extraction of the message signal, and that message signal or the digital output must be a clean output. So it provides us the clean digital output. Here actually in the comparator, it is a kind of decision making. What happens? There is a requirement to compare the incoming signal with the threshold level. When incoming signal exceeds the threshold, means at the output 1 will be extracted. When the threshold is not exceeded, then at the output 0 is being identified or extracted. So this is how the original signal or the message signal, which is digital in nature, that can be extracted. So this is what I have listed out the function of each and every unit over here. Now let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of ASK. First, advantages. There are various advantages. It offers high bandwidth efficiency, simple receiver design. ASK modulation can be used to transmit digital data over optical fiber. In the case of ASK, modulation and demodulation process are relatively inexpensive, means they are not very much expensive. ASK is a variant of on-off keying, we have already discussed, and because of this property it is used at radio frequencies to transmit Morse code. This is one of the major application. In case of ASK, generation and detection, means modulation and demodulation are very easy. It means it facilitates a very simple transmitter and receiver design. Some of the disadvantages are it offers low power efficiency. Power efficiency is low, and it is very susceptible to the noise interference. Noise can interfere much in this particular case because noise actually specifically it affects the amplitude, and it is not suitable for high bit rate data transmission. So these are some of the disadvantages. Thank you so much for watching this video.